Imagine you're on a first date with the most interesting person you've ever met. You have butterflies in your stomach and you are on your best behavior. The atmosphere at the restaurant is perfect. Soft lighting, romantic music, and a very friendly waiter. Maybe even too friendly. You start to ask questions to get to know your date, but you notice something unexpected. The waiter is staring at both of you with a big smile. Throughout the date, he keeps coming back and interrupting. Not to take your order, but to engage in long conversations about anything and everything. Every time the waiter comes back, you're torn between politeness and frustration. Your patience wears thinner. What do you feel? What do you do? In this video, we will talk about everything you need to know about expressing anger in English. We will prepare you for many situations, from dealing with awkward situations to standing up for yourself assertively when things get tough. We'll teach you the right words to use so you can express your anger and frustration in English just like a native speaker. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. So be careful and don't get angry with everyone. Before we dive in, remember to like and subscribe for more awesome content to have you speaking like a native in no time. So when you feel anger, it is perfectly okay to say, "I am angry." But you can make it more interesting and nuanced by using different words. Upset, livid, and furious are words we use to talk about different levels of anger. Here's what each one means. To be upset is when you feel a bit sad or disappointed about something. It's not super intense, but it's enough to bother you. For example, if you miss your bus, you might say, "I can't believe I missed my bus. I'm so upset." To be livid is stronger than being upset. When you're livid, you're really angry. You might even look red in the face because you're so mad. It's like when you find out someone lied to you and you feel betrayed. You could say, "She was livid when she found out Alex had been lying to her." To be furious is the strongest of the three. When you're furious, you're totally consumed by anger. You might want to yell or even do something aggressive. It's like when your car gets stolen and the police are not taking you seriously, and you're so mad you can't think straight. You might say, "He was furious." While all three words mean you're feeling angry or upset, they each show a different level of intensity. Upset is the least intense, livid is stronger, and furious is the most intense. As a bonus, here are some more informal but somewhat vulgar ways to talk about being angry. They use strong language, so avoid using them in formal settings. To be pissed off expresses strong annoyance or anger about something. You can also say someone is pissing you off. For example, "You are starting to piss me off with all your questions." To lose your shh means you completely lose control because you're extremely angry. For example, "She lost her shh when her computer crashed right before the deadline." But wait, there's more. Anger actually operates on a broader spectrum, kind of like a volume knob with different levels of intensity. Just like the volume can get louder, your anger in a situation can also become more intense. You might also behave differently at each level of intensity. The spectrum might look like this: mild annoyance, frustration, indignation, hostility, anger, resentment, and finally, rage. We will talk more about these in a way that is simple to understand, and by the end of the video, you will be a pro. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Now, let's get back to the waiter that is eyeing you and your date like a hawk. Note, a useful English expression is eyeing someone like a hawk. It means to watch and observe them carefully and attentively. So your date is about to start telling you about their family, when the waiter comes up to you and says,
"So sorry to interrupt, but have I ever told you about the time I met a celebrity here?" Yes, believe it or not, it was Katy Perry. Yeah, I have to say, it was quite the experience. I'll never forget the look on her face when she walked in and realized everyone recognized her. I managed to snag a selfie with her. And let me tell you, it got so many likes on Instagram. Like, Katy Perry is basically my best friend at this point.
How would you feel toward the waiter? Even though you prefer to talk to your date, you might initially brush off the interruption with a polite smile and a nod, hoping that the waiter will take the hint and give you some space. As he continues his story about Katy Perry, you might even respond politely, trying to maintain a pleasant atmosphere. At this point, you probably would not say you are angry. You would be mildly annoyed. In reality, a lot of native speakers would not express that the interruption bothers them at this point. But if you choose to speak up, you can say, "Excuse me, we're trying to have a private conversation here. Could you please give us a moment?" 10 minutes later, the waiter comes back and says,
Sorry to interrupt again, but I noticed the only beverage you asked for was water, so I thought to myself, you know what, let me just recommend my favorite cocktail. So it's called the Sunset Sunrise, and it's absolutely divine. It is a refreshing blend of pineapple juice, coconut rum, and a splash of grenadine, garnished with a pineapple wedge and a maraschino cherry. It's like a tropical vacation. You know, it actually really reminds me of my vacation in Hawaii. I was with my girlfriend at the time, but she broke up with me because I didn't propose to her. Are you two thinking about getting married?
As the interruptions persist, you start to feel increasingly annoyed, distracted, and impatient, struggling to maintain the flow of conversation with your date. You feel more frustrated, but you might still try to find a polite way to tell him to leave you alone, saying, "We appreciate your attention, but this is getting a bit frustrating. We would like a bit more privacy during our date." You're about to tell a funny joke that will win your date's heart, when all of a sudden the waiter comes back.
Just wanted to check if everything's tasting all right. I'm banking on you to be honest with me, okay? Oh, by the way, did you know that this building used to be a bank back in the day? Crazy, right? Legend has it that there's still a hidden vault somewhere in the basement. I've always wanted to go exploring down there. You know, working as a waiter is great, but I really want to be a billionaire. It's like that Bruno Mars song, right? Oh, actually, if you have a minute, I can sing it for you. It would be quite romantic for you two, and I actually make singing videos on YouTube. You should subscribe to my channel.
Despite your best efforts to focus on your date, the waiter seems oblivious and continues to monopolize your attention with his chatter. You start to feel indignation. In other words, you feel really angry because you think the situation isn't fair or right. Indignation involves a deep sense of injustice. For example, you might also feel indignation if you see someone being cruel to a helpless animal, or if you find out someone has been damaging your reputation by spreading false rumors about you. To express your indignation to the waiter, you can say, "These interruptions are outrageous and completely unacceptable. We're in the middle of something here. I'm sorry, but this is not how you treat customers." This time, the waiter leaves for 15 minutes, but then he comes back.
How's everything going over here? If you need anything else, just let me know. Oh, and have you tried our tiramisu for dessert? It's made from a secret family recipe, passed down for generations. We don't really know whose family, though. Do you even like tiramisu? Anyway, people come from all over just to taste it. I've even met someone from Micronesia. Can you believe it? Did you even know that was a country? I mean, I've heard of Indonesia for sure. What's your favorite country?
As you wish desperately for a moment of uninterrupted privacy with your date, you might feel and act more and more hostile to the waiter. Hostility involves unfriendly behavior that comes from feelings of irritation and dislike toward another person. Your voice might sound unfriendly, and you might lean away from the waiter, showing you want to be left alone. You might ignore the waiter or give short answers like, "We're fine, thanks," or "No dessert, thanks." Still oblivious, the waiter returns.
Just wanted to check in again and see if you're enjoying your meal. I'm so glad you got the risotto. A delicious dish from northern Italy, I believe. Excellent choice. By the way, have you ever been to Italy? The art, the culture, the food. It's like nowhere else on earth. I remember my trip there like it was yesterday. I spent hours wandering through the streets of Florence, getting lost in the beauty of the architecture. I was with my ex-girlfriend, you know, before she broke my heart. Love is like that, right? Anyway, I hope you two work out. But if you don't, you know, there are plenty of fish in the sea, but I know things will work out, or at least I hope so.
Now you feel anger. The constant interruptions make it difficult to fully enjoy the experience, and you feel an overwhelming surge of frustration. You might struggle to stay calm and feel the urge to snap at the waiter. You might say, "Enough is enough. Your behavior is making me angry. Can you please leave us alone?" He returns a few moments later.
Hi there, it's me again. Just wanted to give you a heads up that we're launching a new menu next week. You should definitely come back. We're adding some exciting new dishes, like a truffle-infused pasta and a decadent chocolate lava cake. We're also introducing a wine pairing menu, carefully curated by yours truly. Look, I know you said you don't drink alcohol, but it's going to be such a game changer. I think you will change your mind. Do you want to have a look at my top picks? This French wine, Le Canard Capricieux du Fromage, is to die for.
You might feel a growing sense of resentment and dislike toward the waiter as he continues to disrespect your privacy. Such resentment can eventually develop into hatred, which is stronger and more intense. At this point, you might say, "He is the worst waiter I've ever had. I don't think someone like him should work as a waiter. I want to get far away from him as soon as possible." You and your date can't take it anymore. Before you've even finished your food, you ask for the bill. You look forward to leaving the restaurant.
All right, one last check-in before I give you the bill. This is usually the hardest part. Gosh, I can't believe our time together is almost over. I'm so bad at goodbyes, you know. Don't tell Sam Smith. He comes here sometimes. Wow, I promised myself I wouldn't cry, but I just want to say, thanks for dining with us tonight. We can really feel the love in the air. But, before I forget, here's a joke for you. Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing. Hilarious, right? The chefs really like when I tell them that one. Anyway, I will grab your bill in a few minutes. But I also wanted to let you know that I already tried to follow both of you on Instagram, but your accounts are private. I wonder what you are trying to hide. Just kidding. But go ahead and approve my follow request, then I'll grab your bill.
Your anger reaches a boiling point as the waiter's invasion of privacy becomes unbearable. You don't even know how he found you on social media or what other personal information he has access to. You may feel the need to confront the waiter directly or request to speak to the manager to address the situation. You might raise your voice and say, "That's it. I can't take this anymore. I demand an explanation for this invasion of privacy. This is the worst experience we've ever had. I am warning you. If you do not leave us alone, there will be consequences. Get out of here before I make you regret it." Now, hopefully, this has never happened to you. But if you ever find yourself in a situation that starts to make you angry, always begin with polite but assertive phrases. Remember, when people make you angry, it is usually not their intention to offend you. In this case, the waiter was probably just trying to ensure you had a good experience. This is why learning to communicate your feelings is very important, and even native speakers struggle to do this sometimes. Here are 20 general phrases that native speakers use in many situations to express anger. But before that, I'm curious. What situations make you angry? What do you usually say? Let me know in the comments. As you know, expressing emotions is not just about what you say, but also how you say it. So, as you learn these phrases to express anger and irritation, feel free to practice how you say them by repeating the phrases after me. You can replay this part again to master the pronunciation. Are you ready? If so, here are 20 fantastic phrases for you to communicate and express your anger like a native speaker. This is really getting on my nerves. I'm at my wit's end. I've had it up to here with your excuses. I'm sick and tired of being treated like this. You've crossed the line one too many times. I can't believe you would do something so thoughtless. Enough is enough. I'm not putting up with this anymore. You've really pushed my buttons this time. How dare you speak to me like that? You've really managed to get under my skin. I've reached a boiling point with your behavior. You're driving me crazy with your nonsense. I've had enough of your attitude. Stop pushing my patience to its limits. I'm fed up with your constant complaining. I'm on the brink of exploding because of you. Your behavior is absolutely unacceptable. You're really testing my patience right now. I'm seething with anger because of you. Amazing job. You don't have to memorize all these expressions, but make sure to use as many of them as you can when you need to. Finally, you know you can't be angry forever. You might want to find a way to cool down. Cooling down means calming down when you're feeling angry or upset. It's like taking a break to relax and get rid of those strong feelings so you can feel better and think clearly again. Here are some ways to cool down. Venting is when you express your feelings or frustrations to someone else, usually to feel better. For instance, if something is bothering you, you might vent to a friend or family member by talking about it. You could say, "I called my brother because I needed to vent about my frustrating day at work." Blow off some steam means releasing pent-up emotions like anger or frustration in a healthy way. It's like letting out pressure that has built up. For example, if you're really angry, you might go for a run or go dancing to blow off some steam and feel better. We can say, Carol went dancing to blow off some steam after the argument. Sometimes we might also have to apologize for expressing our anger inappropriately or in a way that hurts someone else. For example, if you yelled at your friend and didn't mean to, you might apologize by saying, "I'm sorry for getting so angry. I didn't mean to raise my voice, I was just really frustrated." Now remember, no matter how angry you get, never get violent and never express your anger by physically attacking somebody. These expressions are tools that are meant to be used wisely. They are also meant to help you understand when others express their anger. Try to be mindful of what you do when you are angry and use your words to express anger in a healthy way. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that will help you speak English more naturally.